Oh yeah, definitely. I know it's coming. I feel so they're gonna hire somebody, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. They have to. They can't not hire anybody. There wouldn't be anybody on the show.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah.
That would be.
I meant hire a black woman.
Now you said you did a lot of impressions. Now I seen you do Mary J. Blige, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. And I also heard you do Eartha Kitt on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Ah, that's right. Actually, that I really Kit is not something that I do. They gave me the suggestion of Catwoman, and I'm like, hey, isn't that Eartha Kitt? So I just did my Catwoman impersonation, which apparently was pretty good. So yeah.
So, who else?
I mean,
Go ahead.
that's just improv, you know.
Yeah. Now, who else do you do other than? I mean, you know, who do you do?
Well, I'm not going to do any right now
Okay.
because that's weird.
I was gonna ask you.
I've got my kids around. But I think, I'm a black woman. I have to do everybody, you know, like the Wendy Williams and the Oprahs. And, you know, one of the things that I don't know if you saw Kerry Washington when she was on SNL.
Yeah, I see it.
One of the things that they really kind of showed was, like, what they're looking for is simply a wig and, like, a similar-looking outfit, a wig, and the catchphrase.
Yeah.
So I can say I do Oprah, but what they want is the, hey, you know, look under your chair. You know, that's what they want, obviously, because that's what they had her do. And if it's the Wendy Williams, then they want the, how you doing, you know, that sort of thing. I think that I don't know if the nuances really are there anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they don't really want like a impression. They just want you to, you know, put on that wig and, you know, like you said, just say, yeah, you know.
Yes, a recognizable, yep, that's who that person is, you know, that kind of thing, which I think was evidenced in that same scene by the Matthew McConaughey's who came out.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, at the end of that scene when the guys all, you know, all the white guys come out as Matthew McConaughey, it's just, and that's the other thing that I think is, you know, sort of funny about this whole black woman on SNL thing. It's almost as if for us to do impersonations, we have to be spot on. Mm-hmm. We have to look and sound exactly like whoever that person is that we're doing. Whereas with white guys, they can just walk out and just wear a shirt open, you know, talk like a surfer dude, and suddenly they're Matthew McConaughey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like, especially now since it's been so long since there's been a black woman on the show, I mean, the pressure, God, whoever this woman is going to have to, like, morph. Like,
yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah. Like that X-Men villain.
That's what it's all about. Bring it on.
Oh, yeah. Now, dang, I had a question waiting in the wings, and then...
And I answered it, didn't I? I answered it.
I just well, actually, I lost my train of thought with it because I got them written down, but then some of them was like, when you say something, it prompts other things, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to say. Oprah Winfrey, because since you mentioned Oprah Winfrey, I seen you on the show. Thank God You're Here. And, and I want to say you owned Oprah in that skit.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, thanks. You know, I tell her that all the time. I'm like, oh, you know I owned you. Right? And she's like, yeah, you did. You know, Oprah is so cool that she saw Thank God You're Here on TV and was like, I want them on my show. Fly them out. And we flew out and we did improv with her.
Yeah.
A cool thing about doing that was, I don't even know what your question. Did you have a question?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, hey, whatever you want to say, hey. Well, actually, not really a question. I just want to kind of mention that because Oprah this is how good you are. You know how good you are. Oprah was just like nervous acting with you. You know, it seemed like it.
Yes, she was. She was, and you know, I have to say, I have had the privilege of being able to work with a lot of celebrities in the context of me improvising with them. So them needing my help in order to make an improv scene work. Of course, I'm wilding out all the time, and then again, on Thank God You're Here. That's what was, you know, going on the entire time, basically. Mm-hmm. And the celebrities who would come in and would go, hey, you know, those who didn't know how to improvise, who would be up front and say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, can you help me out? it's so much better than the ones who are like, I got this, I got this. The ones who wouldn't allow you to help them at all. And we met with Oprah the night before we taped the show. We met with her, and she was like, hey, how you doing? I was thinking about taking an improv class right around the time I got Color Purple, but I never did, so please help me learn how to improvise. Like, just came right out and said, I don't know what I'm doing, please teach me.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to respect that. I think that's pretty cool. Tyra Banks did the same thing. She's like, I don't know what I'm doing. We're like, we know Tyra. But improvising with her was really fun, and I think she probably was very afraid because it's Oprah, and everything she does is perfect, so she's probably very afraid to fail, which you have to not be afraid to fail in improvisation for it to work.
Oh, yeah.
Can't even think about it.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, but it, it was good television either way. Yeah. Now,
I had her back. I got your back, Oprah.
Definitely. Now speaking of now, you do actually teach improv too, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Ah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, because
I do, and that's one of the things that having a child, having children, has actually helped me become a better teacher, because I can better help adults get back to that childlike state. We censor ourselves so much, and we're so afraid to fail, and we're so afraid to not be funny, especially in improv. It's not even about being funny; it's about being truthful. You know, a lot of humor, most humor, comes just from honesty, just from saying, not trying to be funny, just saying, hey, this is the truth. But adults are so afraid to fail at it that you kind of get to remind them, like, remember how you were when you were a child? It didn't matter. Go back to.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, having kids has definitely helped me with that.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Now, let me ask you, what's been one of the worst experiences you faced as an actress? And how'd you bounce back from it, or what'd you learn from it?
Worst experience I faced? Oh, man, I have a couple. No, that's not true. First of all, let me start by saying that I have been very, very fortunate. So I don't have horrible experiences. I have experiences that were highly embarrassing. Like when my wig fell off on Wild and Out, that was really, really embarrassing, and I just wanted to disappear and hide and die, but I couldn't. But I think probably one of the second season of Wild and Out, my husband Joshua was hired as the improv coach on Wild and Out, and he gets a phone call, we have a meeting, so, come on in for this meeting for Wild and Out, and he goes to this meeting, and he comes home and he says, hey, it wasn't a meeting, it was an audition, and we were auditioning your replacement. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, your replacement for the show. It was hurtful for him to tell me this.
Yeah.
But it turned out that Nick had decided that he didn't want me back because he thought I was too old to improvise. And I think that was one of the, hardest hitting things, because it was, first of all, you have to be a certain age to be able to improvise, because you have to be at least 21 to get into the improv or comedy club.
Yeah.
It turned out, I felt horrible about it for about 2-3 weeks, and then right before they started taping, I got a phone call saying, yeah, Nick made a mistake and he wants you to come back. They realized that they actually need you, and it's not about, how old someone looks or whatever. But that definitely was just a blow of gosh, it's not really about talent. It's about appearance, I guess, or I don't really know what it was about. But they certainly didn't find anybody to replace me.
Of course, because you were like, even though it's Nick's Cannon show, I felt like you were like the star, like one of the stars of it, And I remember those skits with you and Spanky Hayes, and he
that's my boy, Spanky. That's Detroit right there. I love Spanky Hayes.
Yeah, and he used to play your sister.
Yeah, I mean, it was a blast being on the show. For guys, it doesn't matter their age. Yeah. For women, apparently, it does. So that was just one of those, one of those weird, and probably that, and then the SNL thing when my manager said, "No, I've got somebody else I'm pushing instead of you." That kind of hurt too. Ouch. You're my manager? Ooh, okay.
So you definitely got rid of him after that, right? Or is it kind of?
Oh, yeah. And, God bless him, no hard feelings whatsoever. Sometimes you need things like that in order to put your life into perspective and allow you to go, okay, this is what's important and this isn't, and also to go, hey, wait a second, maybe I'm just not teamed up with the right person.
Yeah.
That's always important to be able to say.
Definitely. Now, speaking of teaming up, you met Katt Williams on Wild 'N Out, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And so he pretty much asked you to work with him for the specials, or how'd that go down?
It was great. Joshua and I worked with Katt for American Hustle, I think was the name of it, and let's see, we wrote a script with him. We had a great time working with him. Katt is, he's just a ball of creative energy. And, we would just sit for hours, the three of us just sitting and just coming up with idea after idea. And, we can write a sitcom about this. We can write a movie about this, just riffing. And it was great. I have a very cool relationship with Katt. I think, unfortunately, maybe he's gotten a bad rap just because that's what what happens in our industry. I think people would rather look for what you're doing wrong than what you're doing right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And but yeah, I think he's a great guy. I think he's a really talented guy. Very, very talented.
Definitely. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And sometimes he would just buy In-N-Out burgers. I don't know if you've ever had an In-N-Out burger.
I've heard.
He would just buy them for everybody, and that's a great friend.
Oh yeah, I bet. Hey, let me ask you this now. Doesn't really have much to do with acting. I just out of curiosity, you ever heard of this guy named Tom Leykis? He's a radio guy.
Why?
I don't know. He's a radio guy on the West Coast, and I don't know. I'm in North Carolina, and it's deers and trees out here. So I just assume everybody knows everybody in California.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Oh, okay.
Yeah. What else?
No, I don't. Now I feel horrible. I bet he's gonna listen to this and go, "Nyima, we're best friends." TL. I don't know.
Yeah. Now let me ask you. What's the difference between climate and weather?
The difference between climate and weather?
Yeah.
Is that a real? I don't know what.
Okay, no, I asked you that because you did that. Because I know you do so many skits that you're like, because somebody said that Fred Armisen does so many skits that you ask him about something, he don't even know. Oh, I did that. And it's something you did actually. And I thought, yeah.
Oh, did I do that with the climate change?
Yeah.
Something? Yeah, with Andy Cobb. Oh, that's another good guy over there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I say so much on videos.
Oh, yeah. And another one, what's in the new crispy chicken wraps?
Oh, now that I know, because that was my ringtone for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
I love doing that bit. It's really fun for me to just take something. First of all, rapid response I think is really important.
Yeah.
Sometimes you come up with a video, as quickly as possible. That's what I love, which is what SNL does. I love SNL for that. But with the crispy chicken thing, I love just coming up with this immediately. So many people watch the Mary J. Blige crispy chicken video that I did and think it's real, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that people actually think that this was the campaign. The one that she did was, pretty bad, but wow, this takes it, and people get mad too. How could she do this? That's not her. I love it. I love that rapid response thing. When it's so ludicrous that people think it's real, you're like, whoa, I think I won.
Yeah. Oh man, it was good. It was good. Now let me ask you. Now, are you at this level where I know this might actually be kind of off the record though, but do you? Because you said you just like doing videos and doing scripts, things like that. Now, are you one of those? Or do you have to get? Are you like, okay, I need X amount of money to even smell the script. or you know, or would you actually do some things just kind of like if I knew somebody that did animation and it was like something small, would you like? I mean, would you be open to do something?
Of course. This business is all about connection and all about hooking up with people and working. I mean, it's not always about money.
Yeah.
You know, it's about the creativity. And if you really want to be creative, then that's just what you want to do. It would be like somebody who really likes playing football all the time and going, or I don't really know football terminology, but like, hey, let's get a touch football game together. Like, nah, you got to pay me. Like, no, you wouldn't do that. You would just jump in and do it.
Yeah.
And then many times, like with this SNL video, you get asked to do something, and you do it, and it's free, and it blows up.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not do it? Why not do this person's movie? Because you might not get paid for doing this film short with this person, but they might use you again down the line for their pilot, or the AD guy, you know, might use you for something. You know, it's that's one of the things I love about this. It's just like you don't know what's going to happen with it. Just jump in and have fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm improvising my career basically.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah, because you know my brother, you know, he's got some little sprite animation projects, and I mean, I'm not gonna bother you, but I mean, I would. Let's
do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Let's
man.
do it.
Yeah, because I'm getting my hands in everything, not just the podcast, but I do a little bit of jack of all trades. I need to master something though, but you know, and I'm definitely trying.
I mean, you never know what you're going to be called upon to do.
Yeah.
So you have to keep all those skills sharp, and you have to be able to show that you can do it right away. You know, I don't know. Hey, yeah, sure, let's do some Sprite. Let's do it.
Definitely. I'll definitely. All right. Now, before I close up the podcast, I want to just hold the line because I want to get a drop from you right quick. Mm-hmm. But before we close it up, I want to say, do you have any? Is there anything you want to plug? I would say, excuse me, I'm getting all tongue tied. It was great having you on the show too. But is there?
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Is there anything that you want to plug? Any shout outs? Any kind of links you want to tell people to check this out? Anything, you know?
Oh, of course. Well, check out NyimaFunk.com. Let's see. Check me out on the YouTube. And yes, it is the YouTube. We got Key and Peele. I'm doing this with them all the time. And my daughter's going to be on Key and Peele next week. She's got a little, she plays a little blind girl.
That's great.
In a couple of sketches. So, yeah, I mean, and if you're ever in Los Angeles, come on down and see the 313 at the Second City.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, now definitely hold the line. You know, I'm gonna get those drops. And
Okay.
you know, this is the SNL Fan Podcast. Just some guy named Jay with Nyima Funk, and that's news to me.